She was shapely, with creamy white skin, dyed blonde hair, and rare-colored eyes that men said things about sincerely. She fucked Emilio good after she found out how much he'd be getting from the settlement. Emilio knew he'd be gone when his money was gone. He didn't care. Just looking at her mouth made him throb. When it was time to leave for Addie Shadd's, Emilio hustled Charla out the door. "Have fun swinging with them porch monkeys." Charla was confused because she hadn't been told there'd be monkeys. Colette waved, whispering sad things about sending off her baby girl. Emilio patted her shoulder and pretended he didn't think she was full of shit. In spite of the name of the place, there was no view of Lake Erie from the trailer park. And in spite of the claims, no way you could see across the lake to Cleveland on the American side, even on the clearest of days. Addie Shadd had settled at the trailer park in the late 50s because it was as close to the water as she could get on the money she had. She thought it'd just be a temporary address, but after 20 years at the park, she accepted that she'd never have a real lake view. The weather'd been dry. Sun baked the mud lane where Mum Addie and most of the other colored people lived and formed it into rivulets of hard earth. Hurt to walk on in bare feet and no good for a bicycle tire. Between the evenly spaced white and silver trailers, tomato and cucumber plants got ready to choke up cages of rusty chicken wire. On most of the squares in front, there were old wood chairs and dented trash cans, a patch of crabgrass or nothing. But Mum Addie grew those tiny, white, piss-smelling flowers on her square and felt the better for beautifying her neighborhood. Charla was squatting on her haunches, picking up kernels of hard Indian corn from a pile near a shabby trailer somewhere on the way to Addie Shadd's. She knew she was stealing the makings of some child's necklace because each red or purple or golden kernel already had a neat hole in the middle from a needle pierce. She wanted the kernels and meant to make her own pretty necklace, maybe for Colette. As Charla pinched the corn gems out of the dust and dropped them into her white plastic bag, she imagined her necklace and how it'd be admired. She saw the shadow, but not soon enough. The foot caught her in the small of her back and drove her into the ground. She turned around to see who'd kicked her, blocking the sun with her hand. "What, Fawn?" Fawn Trochot was 7 years old and lived with her Aunt Crystal in the trailer across from Charla and Colette. Fawn had curly yellow hair and cloud-white skin and big blue eyes like a picture Bible angel. Charla knew the Indian corn didn't belong to Fawn. She also knew it didn't matter. Charla got up, clutching the white plastic bag, watching Fawn. She didn't dare speak. Fawn took a step closer, kicking dust at Charla with her dog-chewed flip-flops. Charla flinched, thinking Fawn meant to hit her. But Fawn didn't strike again. She just ripped the plastic bag from Charla's clutches and ran away. A couple of bored mutts started a fight on the road. Charla watched them, thinking she'd feel better and know what to do next if she could cry. But Charla didn't cry, ever, and she had no sense of why. Colette knew why. It happened when Charla was almost 2 years old. She'd been an early walker but didn't get out of her crib much, so she'd lost her head start. She had a few words. Mummy, bottle, stinky, lighter, juice. Colette's boyfriend at the time, Wally, was a huge man with shoulders so wide he had to duck and go sideways to fit through the trailer door. Charla recalled him coming into her tiny baby room, filling it up like water in a glass, with his yeasty breath and cigarette hair. It was a late fall day, smelling of Macintosh apples and maple leaf fire. Baby Charla shuffled to the back of the crib, grinding the nipple of her empty bottle with her tiny white teeth. Wally'd come to get something from the room. He stumbled in all his bigness, and banged his shin hard on the edge of the old crib. He screamed.